Well, my wife and I like projects. Much to our friends' amusement, we've always seemed to have got some kind of property project on the go. But to us, it's our hobby, and Stamford Cider Huts is something we've been planning, I suppose, for the last couple of years. And we live at Grange Farm in a beautiful village near to Stamford. And 5 years ago, we started offering P Cottage, a one-bedroom holiday let on Airbnb. At the time, I suppose it was a bit of an experiment. We were surprised, however, how popular it was, and I've got to admit that we've quite enjoyed having a little bit of a sideline. Anyway, we had a paddock adjoining the farmhouse here, and it was far too large to be able to use as a garden, but on the other hand too small to be able to use agriculturally. So we decided that it was the perfect place to be able to sort of hide two shepherd's huts. So very carefully over 2 years we planned what we've aimed to be the perfect location for a romantic break. I'd say the huts appeal primarily to couples and for people looking for a private, short break in a countryside location. So often we find it's for a special occasion like a birthday or an anniversary. But I also, on top of that, think that people's holiday requirements are changing. We're all a little bit more conscious these days about the damage that air travel can cause the environment, and it makes a lot more sense to consider what they call a staycation break. Well, I'd say that shepherd's huts come in all shapes and sizes. Some are very blinged up affairs with LED lights and hot tubs. Others are very eco-orientated with compost loos and outdoor showers. But the cider huts are, what we've tried to do there is take all the comforts that you'd expect from a plush hotel room and place them in a beautiful countryside location. And I'd have to say that the huts themselves are a masterpiece of craftsmanship, because they've been handmade from antique materials, and the interior decor has been really carefully designed, and it's all there to convey a feeling of relaxed country charm. Well, first of all, I'd say that most guests book cider huts based on the photos and the description of the accommodation, and then they only later discover that they're located a short distance from Stamford. Well, the great news is that one of the best things about the huts is the fact that they're near to one of the prettiest market towns in the country. I've written a ready-made itinerary of things to do when visiting Stamford. And you can view it and spend some time looking at it by going onto our website. But just to give you the 5 highlights, they are: number 1, treat yourself to a tipple at the George Hotel, because it's one of the biggest landmarks in the town. It dates back to the 18th century. It's absolutely fabulous. Secondly, I would go for a stroll around Burley House and the gardens. The property itself is one of the best examples of Elizabethan architecture that you'll find in the country, and the gardens are absolutely fantastic, and they were designed by Capability Brown, I think in the 18th century. The third thing I'd do is just simply enjoy Stamford by walking around. It's like one great big giant Jane Austen film set. You know, have a slice of cake in one of Stamford's many coffee shops, relax and enjoy your break. The fourth thing is to go for a meal at one of the quaint pubs in the town, and personally I would recommend one called the Toby Norris Pub, and the good thing about that is that you don't have to book in advance. And then finally, enjoy a countryside walk. So there are plenty to choose from, including one that actually passes right by the orchard, and it's called the Hereward Way. Well, a copy of the house rules are on our website and also on the clipboard in each hut, so you're bound to see them. But in essence, they focus around noise and the consideration you must show to others. So all we say is just be respectful to the fact that the orchard and the two huts are in the heart of a conservation area. The village is particularly sensitive to anything that might disrupt their tranquil way of life. But having said that, if you're looking to escape, the hurly-burly of modern life, I'm sure you'll appreciate the peaceful setting that Stamford Cider Huts have to offer. And I hope that you regard the sort of house rules as a positive rather than a negative.